So, for my first video, I want to touch up on this new naturalist update because it's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time because of how much different stuff you can do throughout the update. A few being leveling up in the role and sedating animals and things like that, as well as the legendary animal missions, which are really fun, and I might do videos on because those are kind of hard too. So I might get a posse together and do those. So the naturalist update, there's a couple different things you can work on to level up in it. One of the ways I'd recommend is going to Valentine, which I will show you guys here in an upcoming video. Is going to Valentine, and there's sheep and pens, and you want to sedate all of them, take samples of them, and then you want to go fast travel over to the person, the Harriet lady, that you then sell them to, and then after that you'll get all the XP from it, and then you can start up a poacher mission, which will then give you more XP, and you have to get to rank 5 in the role as well to do the legendary animal missions, which isn't hard if you have Twitch Prime, but if you don't, it's kind of a harder thing to do, because you get like 8,000 XP from the Twitch Prime thing they did. But for the actual role, like not having those XP tokens, you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff to do this. And like I said, the easiest way to do that would be to go to Valentine, sedate all the animals that are in the pens, take samples from all of them, go to Harriet, do a poacher mission, and then reset your game, or leave and rejoin a new session, and then rinse and repeat. And if you want to, you can do some of the legendary animal missions. I've done about 3, and I've gotten the pelts for them, so they are pretty fun, but I'm not really into them that much. They're just kind of extra filler, I find. But, well, they're not extra filler, they're much of a full update, but they feel like filler, anyway. Certain animals, like big game samples, sell for more, so sometimes it's more worth it to sedate those animals and take those samples in. But you can also make money off of the smaller stuff, which is the sheep give you $1 per sample, which isn't a lot, but they do give you some XP from them. So that's like the biggest thing. If you're worried about money, I'd recommend getting a collector's bag and using the online map for the cards, because that's a lot easier, and you also make a lot more money from that. But to maximize money on the naturalist update, it would be best to go and get bigger game like elk and bears and wolves and stuff like that. But if you're more worried about the XP like I am right now, then you are going to be wanting to do this rinse and repeat method that I talked about, because it's a lot better than just aimlessly going about the update. But with every update for every game, there is a lot of bugs, and this game has had a lot lately. But if you can get on here to play, I would definitely check out the naturalist role, as well as Gus, because his pelts are pretty cool, or his coats are pretty cool that you can buy, and the clothing in general. But the biggest thing is the whole Harriet part of this update, because that's like the main course of the update. Because that's where you go to get all your missions, to buy your sedative rounds, to knock stuff out. It's a fun update, but it also comes with its ups and downs. the samples not selling for a lot of money kind of suck, but it is what it is. I mean, there's not much you can do about it. Still a good update, though. I'm not trying to bash the update, because it is really good. But there's certain things that do need changed, I would say, eventually. Lots of different things, obviously, are eventually going to need changed, like the server's stability has been very bad lately. Another way that you could level up in the poacher, or not in the poacher, in the event or update, would be to go to the Great Plains and kill or sedate bison and take their samples, because the bison sell for a lot. But another thing you got to take into account for is that they tend to take a lot more sedative 22 rounds than other animals such as sheep. Sheep take 5, so that's an easy way to conserve your stuff. But the sheep are a good way to conserve your ammo for sure. But yeah, bigger game, obviously, like I said, are going to take more sedative rounds to knock out. That should make enough sense to most, because, poacher missions, like you can see here. Another thing that a lot of people I don't think do is go loot the bodies from everything, because they can have playing cards on them, or like the collectible cards, more so. And just stuff that like you wouldn't usually get, I guess, is the best way to say that. But yeah, once the mission's over, what I would do, like I'm about to go do here now, is go back to the camp and loot the bodies. You know, just so you can get some extra rewards on top of XP. It's a weird update, because they kind of just threw you into the update without any guidance, really. So it's just like, oh yeah, you have to go talk to Harriet now, and then they don't really tell you anything else after that. Once you get the sample kit, stuff gets pretty self-explanatory, but the actual ways of, like, getting XP from it are a little weird, because you gotta, like, it's just a way of figuring things out, basically, to where you can go to a spot that you're comfortable with, say, like, how you'd go to, Valentine with the sheep and shoot them and sedate them, but then you'd go back and you'd redo all the stuff you did with the poacher mission. That's a good way to do it. There's this one spot up in, where is it? Up in this area near Aurora Basin, where you could put your camp. And there's tons of wildlife around there. There's wolves, bears, moose, elk, deer, everything around. So I would go and put your camp if you're trying to go for the sedative round samples, like you should be for XP, around this area here. I'll even add a marker to where, like, the relative area is. You want to move your camp to tall trees, and then that should spawn it in that area. It's very, very, very useful. You wouldn't think it is, but it is. And now I'm gonna go to Harriet real quick and check out, or have you guys see what the things that you can buy from her are. I don't have some of them unlocked because I'm not high enough rank in the role yet, but I will be working on that here over time, so. See, like, bigger game like this that'll attack you are going to be harder to knock down because they're just going to be chasing you the whole time, basically. But, as you can see, I got like 2 wolves here sedated, so I'm about to take the samples for them. But bigger game will sell for more, like this, the samples. I'll check out Gus in the next video, because he's kind of like the opposite of Harriet, basically. He's like a trapper. If you guys haven't checked out the update yet, that's what he is. He sells some pretty cool stuff, plus you can pick up extra, like, tonics and things like that around his shops, so you do get extra upon the stuff that you're supposed to get, like the pelts and things, which are good. It's a good thing to do, but you know, I mean, if you don't really care about clothing, you just want to get the naturalist stuff and start working on it, then by all means skip over Gus, because that's all he really does, basically. And as well as the legendary garments, which I kind of forgot about, but the garment sets for the legendary animals, like the one I have on, the elk head type thing, is one of the ones that you can buy for like a couple hundred. It's like $700, $800 for some of them. I wouldn't say it's worth it necessarily, because it's a lot of money for just a clothing item, but they do look pretty cool. So if you're into style more than you are into effective things on this game, then by all means. But you know, that's just certain people want to do certain things on this game, so it just depends. And always, for most updates, or for most like big role updates, I should say, the best way to do it is with the posse, because you can literally just do some of the missions, like the poacher mission and things like that, are so much faster and easier than the ones where you do it alone. Plus the legendary missions, that you can find the animals like 10 times faster as well with a posse member or 2 or 3. So I would recommend doing it with a posse, but if you want to do it solo, you can always do it solo. It's not hard, it's just more fun and intriguing and easier when you do it with friends, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll probably have to go to Harriet in the next video. We'll do a part 2 to this one. Doing a legendary animal, probably, or something. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you need anything else on the naturalist stuff, just keep checking my YouTube channel. I should be posting some new stuff on about the naturalist update. Yeah, so bye for now, and I'll get part 2 out as soon as I can. And bye.